AITA for calling my dad a horrible human being? And 13F, my dad, now 40, has divorced my mom like 3 years ago. He cheated on her with a coworker and they got married. His mistress has two sons, aged 21 and 24, although I'm not perfectly sure, but they are in the 25 range for sure. This woman is uglier than my mother, has an attitude doesn't work, and always spends a shit ton of money on nothing. Anyway, that's it. After the divorce, my dad didn't show up or call for 6 whole months. Mind you, I was 11 and he had told me he would visit every weekend and take us to places and have fun. I waited. Every weekend, I would dress up and wait at the front door with my little brother, but he never came. So in about 6 weeks of this waiting, I stopped. He came months later. I didn't show up. He told us to go, that he would have fun and all, but I said no. I was too disappointed from waiting that I didn't want him anymore. He never came again. He would visit when we called or texted him, never on his own. He took his stepkids to cruises, fun stuff that he never did with us. He did invite my little brother to one of the cruises, and he was happy to go. I was excluded specifically in the invitation. He had told him to not bring your sister, aka me. He took my little brother on vacation a few times, again excluding me. I cried so hard. My mom is alone and working just a bit higher than minimum wage, so I have no chance of taking a vacation, but at least she lets me free. This week I'm going on an outing with my friend who will visit from Russia, to my city. She's an hour away, but my mom said she trusts me and will send me. She's sending me with the money she was going to use for a haircut and said that it didn't matter. It made me break. I was sad. I know she doesn't like her hair long, and this isn't a haircut for fun. It's really long and the weather is also very hot in here, so long hair bothers. Meanwhile, my dad pays only like $66 of child support. I live in Turkey, so it's about 2,200 TL, which is barely enough to buy one good shoe. It isn't even, you can get a Converse, but nothing good or winter boot stuff. So yesterday I had to drop off my little brother at the restaurant he works in because my little brother's phone broke and my mom said my dad had to get it repaired because I'm going out next week. And I had to go there. While there, he made any and every excuse not to get the phone repaired. He said he didn't have money, time, was sick, etc., etc. Then he started getting angry at me. He had ordered us food as it was breakfast time. Great, right? Well, I have asthma and GERD, so sometimes when I eat something, it comes right back up. Sorry for the disgusting explanation. And chokes me. I usually need help then. Well, the food he ordered for me was especially spicy. Like he told them to add extra spice. I thought he was going to have it, but he gave it to me and said he wanted to see if I was strong enough for a little spice, knowing what happens. Anyways, I ate, and halfway through that happened. He laughed and said to my brother, "Oh, look, she's dying, call her mommy," in a mocking tone. I ended up throwing up on his plate on accident and ruined his food. He started yelling at me and a lot. So I told him that he is a horrible human being and doesn't deserve to call himself a man. I also had previously called his mistress a slut because she did sex work for free in her past workplace. Not as an insult, it is real. So I told him that he could go lick his mistress's ass and stay on his collar. I told him to not bark at me and slapped him. Then I just went off to my house. Also to mention, he had SA me when I was 5 and tried to force my mom into aborting me when she had just gotten pregnant with me. AITA for holding my boundary about a motorcycle. My son, 24, lives at home with me, 55F, and another son, 25, and my BF, 55M, of 3 years, lives 2 hours away and visits for a few days each week. Each son pays $600 rent. I have a tandem 2-car garage and 4 parking spaces in the driveway. Son has been talking about getting a motorcycle for a few months now. After I repeatedly told him, absolutely not, which he would always try to gaslight me and tried every trick in the book to get me to agree. I got fed up one day and texted him, "You are not to buy a motorcycle. Do you understand that? Don't even try to talk me into it either." No. FYI, end of discussion. I received no reply. 1 month later, son arranged a truck and drove 2 states away in the middle of the night to pick it up, and I wake up to a crotch rocket in the back of my garage. Son has moved all my things that BF and I just spent 2 months cleaning and organizing so I could fit my car in the garage to make room for the motorcycle. BF called him out on it, respectfully with no swearing, and stood up for me because when I tried, I get screamed at and gaslit. I can't get to my bicycles now, BC. The motorcycle is in the way. Later, I texted son BC I wanted it in writing. Find another place to store that motorcycle. I'm not looking at it every day. You have 2 weeks to get it out of here. And I sent him a link to a storage facility. A week later, I reminded him that he has 1 week left to get the motorcycle out. Son got easily over the top irritated, typical behavior. It got heated and he started off by yelling at me BC. I cleaned up the kitchen and put his mail, phone charger, and protein powder on his bed, which I have done for years. It escalated with lots of fuck yous from my son directed at my BF. He kept his cool and defended me by saying that it was all over the motorcycle. And the reason why I won't let it stay is because I don't want to be reminded every day that that machine could kill him or leave him maimed for life because we love him. BF always defends me and has my back, something my sons have never experienced before. They walk all over me. He tried to gaslight me, and I kept standing my ground. Son was definitely throwing a tantrum like a 2-year-old BC. He can't have his way with the motorcycle. The gaslighting and manipulation these two dish out is at a master level. He was swearing and threatening in the driveway, then tore out of the driveway with his sports car and fishtailed and left rubber marks behind in the street. I can only imagine that behavior on a motorcycle. Son came back after work, grabbed some stuff, and told his brother he was going to couch surf with friends. I'll give him until 8/8 to move it or it will be towed. AITA, for putting my foot down on this issue,